Well, here we go. I've been wanting to do this for ages. This is Heavenly Sword. This is a game that came out in 2007, I think September 2007. I didn't buy it at the time. I bought it a couple of months later when I got my PlayStation 3. Because at the time, PlayStation 3s were insanely expensive and they'd just cut the price. So I picked my PS3 up with this, Assassin's Creed, FIFA, which was part of the bundle, and another game. Oh, MotorStorm. This is definitely the game that left a lasting impression on me. And I've played it a couple of times. I probably haven't played it in at least 7 years. So I had a quick play with it when it came out on PlayStation Now. I started up a PS4 trial for that and played a little bit there. And like, yeah, okay, I should play through this game again. And I got the feeling for it when I played through Enslaved, which was this studio's next game. And a little bit when DMC came out, which is the game after that. So there's a couple of reasons that I wanted to play through this game again. It's been 10 years, amazingly. I mean, September will be the 10th anniversary of this game coming out, which I find insane. Because this was the first... Bearing in mind that I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the 360 at the time. I'd played Gears of War, so I feel like that and Lost Planet were like the two games, maybe Dead Rising as well, that kind of ushered in that generation of games. Oblivion as well, I suppose. But when I saw this, and there was a lot of video going around of it at the time, I remember watching it on the 1UP show, I remember being blown away with how this game looked. And there's still elements of it that look really good for a 10-year-old game. But yeah, there's just something about it. And also, so it's 10-year anniversary, but also the studio have just announced Hellblade, which is, they've pitted as a spiritual sequel, or a spiritual successor. So, which is kind of a mid-priced thing. I think they've said it's kind of like a 2/3 long game. It's not that it's lower in quality, it's just that it's a shorter experience. So they're not charging full price for it. So I'm really curious about that, and I'll probably end up buying that day one because... I'll be honest, I haven't disliked a game that Ninja Theory have made. I didn't play their first game when they were Just Add Monsters? Just Add Monsters? Just Add War? I can't remember what the name of the development was. Or the name of the game, for that matter. Stop that video playing. But yeah, I'm really curious about Hellblade. But I figured... Yeah, go on then. Let's start fresh. I figured if I'm going to play through the whole thing again, I'll play through it in video form instead. Because I wonder how many people actually played this game.
It was written that 23 years ago, in the year of the Fire Horse, a deity would be reborn in the body of a mortal man. A savior, destined to unite our people and show us the way to the promised land. Instead, I was born from my mother's dying body. And my people wept. They said I was a portent of doom. Maybe they were right.
That video compression hasn't aged very well. Yeah, so this is one of the first things I remember this game having, is that this giant battle scene, which, yes, the frame rate is quite low at this point. But, having said that, you compare this to like Genji, the launch title for the PS3, or Dynasty Warriors 6, which came out at the same sort of time, maybe a little bit later. Got nothing on this. Especially in terms of graphical fidelity, like this looks great. I do wonder, it will never happen because Sony just seem to have no interest in this series whatsoever, apart from occasionally using the character for their own devices, but like seeing this game running on PS4 at 30 frames or 60 frames a second would be kind of nice.
My clan believed this sword was forged in heaven for a deity. No mortal may wield it in battle without its power draining their life. The clan's duty is to protect the sacred weapon. Even in our darkest moments, the sword was never to be used. But I wielded the heavenly sword, savored the grace and fury in my blows. never once forgetting what I was offering for such power. Days ago, I made my fatal choice. The pact is at an end. Now I must pay the price.
I am trying my best not to talk over the cutscenes, I will say that. There's a lot to talk about. I just remembered a lot of things about this game.
I had never been one for prayer. The gods seldom listen. There was a time when I would have welcomed death, but now I would walk through hell for a chance to change this.
No! No, wait! Why have you taken me now? Please, send me back. Let me go. Without me, they will perish. Answer me! I am not ready to die. Not yet.
I remember this blowing me away at the time. The way that just translated into a menu is maybe not the most exciting thing in the world. Oh dear. So I'm trying to remember. This doesn't have rumble, I don't think. Subtitles are on, that's good. Oh, motion sensors. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's just go. Chapter 1. I do love this menu screen though. It is super stylish.
Bohan. A king from a distant country seeks the heavenly sword. He seeks it as a symbol of his dominance over my clan, and with it, his dominance over the land. Bohan has hunted us for months, and he is relentless. My people are great warriors, but we cannot run forever.
Kai!
I don't like these drones. I don't like them.
We've got to get to the fort. Now! We'll be trapped like rats in here.
Even rats can become tigers when trapped.
And tigers make great trophies when skinned.
Enough! Climb the walls and keep watch.
As you command, Father.
What are you waiting for? Barricade the doors!
Yes, Master Shen.
They're scaling the walls!
Here we go. First bit of combat. Well, apart from the prologue.
Be vigilant! Bring them swift death!
There's all sorts of things to talk about this game. Like, it's basically a who's who of all sorts of stuff. Like, Rhianna Pratchett worked on the story with a couple of other writers, and she went on to do, you know, Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Nitin Sawhney did the music. The music is outstanding throughout this game. So the actual gameplay is kind of like God of War. So you can use the right stick to dodge. Jesus, frame rate. I'd forgotten As I do with this game every single time I boot it up, I'd forgotten how bad the frame rate actually gets. It's proper chunky. There's basically this 3-tier combat system going on, which I kind of like. It's a little bit simplistic, I guess, for some people, but... And actually, I don't think I have the 3 styles yet. I think I've just got the basic style. So the minute I've got light attack and a heavy attack, which is square and triangle, and I've got superstar, which I don't think you unlock till later. So I'll stop talking about the 3-tier combat until I've actually got it. Combat's more mashy than I remember. I think it does get better when you unlock the 3 styles. Yeah, it's weird because the cinematics in this game, they're not revolutionary at this point. We've seen, I mean, Naughty Dog are essentially the leaders of the pack. But you have to remember, this game came out before Uncharted. Uncharted was a couple of months after this, and you can see Sony really going after big cinematic cutscenes. For the most part, they kind of pull it off. Like I don't remember a lot of games that were doing this sort of stuff. You compare it to what Assassin's Creed was doing, those 20-minute cutscenes in smoke where people are talking at you. Mass Effect, where people are standing still talking to you. There wasn't a whole lot on the market that was doing this sort of stuff. Other thing about the cinematics, you know, their motion capture's great. Andy Serkis, who obviously would go on to work with them for Enslaved. He plays Bohan in this game, which is, you know, he does a really good job with that. So you see the little combo in the bottom, there's a combo meter in the bottom left, which shows you how many hits you've gotten without taking damage, or, you know, a certain amount of time passes. There's also that bar that runs along the bottom, and if I remember rightly, you can buy either upgrades or the concept art and stuff with them. It's basically your incentive to replay the level if you're going to get 1 or 2 as opposed to 3. These little pots will give you some as well.
Shen. He has always been my tutor first, and my father second. My accursed birth and the death of my mother are hard for him. I fear that part of him can never truly forgive me for that.
There! Look! Another wave approaching!
Here we go again. Do some more chopping, kicking and chopping. It really has been a long time since I played this. Like I say, it was so weird when I booted up PlayStation Now and I was kind of browsing through and saying, oh, what can I play? And I was kind of tested it out with half an hour of Tokyo Jungle, and that was kind of cool. And then I was looking through the list. There's mostly games you don't want to play. It's, you know, PS3 versions of things. Like, or you can play the PS3 version of Spec Ops: The Line or something like that. Bioshock 2. No tar, I've got the PC version of that. But you see games like this. These games, as far as I'm aware, you cannot buy Heavenly Sword on the PlayStation Store. You have to buy a disc. Because it was early enough that they weren't putting games out like that. They were not putting games out digitally. Especially not of that size, because I'm sure this is the kind of game that fills a Blu-ray. It took a long time for things like Metal Gear Solid 4 and even Uncharted actually to be available digitally. Whoa! Did I just pick that corpse up? How did I do that? I'm wondering. Whoa! Physics freak out. Gotta turn those Havoc physics all the way up.
Shen. One battle at a time, brothers. One battle at a time.
Well, men, you have honored your ancestors.
I think that the thing that helps with this game is that there's clearly graphical elements of it that have aged quite a lot. But I think the style helps, like a crazy polygonal hair thing. There's clearly a stylistic choice there as well, not just a technical one.
You know why this is happening, don't you?
Now is not the time. We cannot afford to fight amongst ourselves.
Let him speak.
You know as well as I do. We all know who brought this curse down upon us.
I am no curse.
Enough! This war is of one person's making, that much is true. But that person is not Nariko. This
Come on, Shen. How long have we known each other? Stop hiding from the
is
truth.
King Bohan's war. Even as an arrogant young prince, he was capable of cruelty beyond measure. Now he commands an entire army. We fight together or we die alone. And that means all of us. Assassins. Approaching from the forest. Kai. Kai. Listen to me, Kai. I want you to climb the trees and shoot at any soldiers you can see. Can you do that for me?
Twing twang. Is it playtime?
Oh God.
Nariko, where do you think you're going?
I'd forgotten about Twing Twang. Yes, so there's these third-person shooting sections.
You've had your playtime. It's Kai's turn now.
These are weird. So you can zoom with the right stick, and you can move the left stick, and you fire with square, and you can hold square, and then you move the 6-axis and shoot them in the damn face. Oh, these 6-axis controls are rather rough. You forget about shit like this because it's been... Oh God. It would be easy to shoot them. I do need to get better at this because there are sections of this game that if I can't nail this later on, we're going to be sitting here a long time. Put that on my list of gaming resolutions. Must get better at Twing Twang. Oh, see you over there. There's quite a lot of 6-axis in this game, I will say. There's, you throw hats at gongs. Ooh, there's a red pot down there. I'll be having that. Don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. Oh, that's a lucky dodge. How many other games can you shoot people in the chest like that? Oh God, that's bad.
Silly Kai.
Missed it.
Silly.
Yes, I agree. Why aren't you aiming better? Why am I trying to do all the work with the with the 6-axis? I think you can. Can you let go? Can't remember. I can't remember if you can let go mid shot if you know it's gonna hit. Oh God! Come on, Kai. You can Twing Twang better than this. He's gone.
Naughty Kai.
This is bad. Oh, God. It's the way they react to the arrows. Oh, God. Shoot them. That guy over there? Oh, I've just missed another one.
Silly cat.
Nope. I went straight through him. Check the tape. I've been robbed. Oof. Oh, God. I'm just trying to rush this. This is definitely worse than I remember. It just doesn't feel good. I should try turning off the motion controls and see if that makes it. Because I did see there was a switch for that. There we go. I've always missed as many people as I've killed. Intercept remaining soldiers. Oh, right, okay, so I now just have to beat up the guys that I managed to fail to hit as Kai. I really like the soundtrack in this game. Because it's not just, you know... Much as I love God of War's soundtrack has always been... You know what a God of War soundtrack sounds like. What I like about Heavenly Sword is it has a vibe, it has a different approach that I really appreciate. Even if the gameplay doesn't quite hold up, the intent of what they were trying to make, I think, still stands. And I don't think they've... I mean, I never finished DMC, but I don't know that they've ever really gotten this cohesive again, because Enslaved... It had some really neat ideas, but I think it did suffer a little bit for looking like an Unreal game. It definitely looked like it was running on Unreal Engine. It had that... Even with a lot of greenery, it wasn't just a lot of empty fields or barren kind of towns out in the middle of nowhere with very little colour. Congratulations, you did Twing Twang quite badly.
You may collect the bodies of your men and give them a dignified burial.
Who's she talking to? Soundtrack kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 4.
In my dream, I see my father. He is standing above me. He raises the sword above his head. I try to call out to him and tell him to stop, but the sword strikes down. But this night, it wasn't a dream. The sword is now mine to protect, and my life will change forever.
feel like the costume designers and the weapon designers in this game had a lot of fun.
Get up here!
Look at that sword. It's almost Square Enix levels of beautifully absurd. Just let me look at that. It's a nice vista. It's basic by today's standards, but again, it's been 10 years. That's crazy. If you think back 10 years before Heavenly Sword, that's like Crash Bandicoot 2.
Bohan's reinforced his troops with catapults. We found a working cannon. Cover us while we stage a retreat to the west. Then make a break for the eastern cliffs. And above all, keep the sword safe.
Are we in first person? Because he's very close.
Don't leave me! Take me with you!
Kai, you come with me!
No, Kai. Go with Father. I'll find you again. I promise.
That frame rate. It's a big field. I remember this bit. Remember that bit we just did with Twing Twang? Check it out. Now let's do it with cannonballs. Oh yeah, it opens another one, doesn't it? Damn, I thought it was 3. But it's 3 and then another one. Oh, that's way off. Oh, I still got it. So much 6-axis. There is vibration, I've just realised. They must have patched it in. Because the DualShock 3 wasn't out at this point, I think. Maybe it wasn't Japan, but in September it definitely wasn't. Because I seem to remember the DualShock was around about the time of Metal Gear. Maybe a little bit earlier. One of those crazy things people don't remember now. So, oh, remember when the PS3 controller launched with no vibration? Insane. This is a lot easier than I remember.
We will make a break from the frozen river. Cover our backs with the cannon, and remember, if you see catapults, head east and don't stop running.
So now we've got all these explosive barrels we can take advantage of. Required kills 700. This doesn't control very well, but it is quite explosive and quite fun. It is essentially just leveling an entire field full of soldiers. There's something fun about 6-axising it as well. There's a lot of guys escaping this. Good God. There's a lot of soldiers on screen right now. I got my 700. 1 out of 3?
If I'm captured, the Heavenly Sword is lost, and the clan's sacrifice will have been in vain.
Run, Nariko! Yes! Physics! I love rolling into carts. It's my favourite thing in Bloodborne. Yeah, see, I kind of like the kind of mashy, roll the analog stick, attack, roll it again. It's kind of a neat little... who's God of War did it as well. There is a somewhat... part of me that's kind of surprised that they let them get away with a game so similar to God of War. Unless they were just looking for a game to look like God of War, I don't know. This game was in development for a long time. I think it was Xbox originally. Oh, love a good telephone interruption. The technical department wants to tell me something about my computer. I'm sure it's totally true. Can't believe we're still getting those sorts of calls. Oh, there's a virus on your computer. Yes, I haven't heard of that scam call for the last 5 years. I'm busy slaying dudes. And as always, it'll make this a lot of fun to try and edit. So thank you to that person on an international number. Cheers.
You stay here. I'll see if I can.
Oh yeah, they do split screen stuff, don't they? Here we go. So you can do the hat. It's kind of goofy. That's not worked. See, I remember there's little things like if you get hit in the air, you can shake the controller and essentially counter while you're attacked in the air. Again, this is all much later in the game. This seems very basic so far. Although still loving the Havoc physics. Anytime you hit somebody with a sword and they fly 30 feet in the air, that's I'm on board with that. Guy wasn't dead? God, these guys take a few hits. There you go. There we go. He's dead. Gotta keep a hat with you at all times. Man, 1 out of 3. I'm doing really badly.
Killing my men can't be true. You're better.
She does occasionally look like a ball of fury, just like spinning around. It's almost like the Tasmanian devil is attacking things. I suppose that kind of polite glide that Batman does She's just this ball of spinning around. Oh. See, he's got heavy attacks because he's got the little yellow glow. Or gold glow, I suppose. Come on. I thought it was a quick time event for him. I think that's the quick time event for the door. that crate just fall to pieces. It's also one of those rare games that didn't actually need a install. Which on PS4 was a rarity. PS3 was a rarity early on. Back in the days of Devil May Cry 4, having to sit there for 20 minutes while it installed. Just used to that now. Every console does it. I remember it being a massive sticking point for the PS3 originally. Funny how times change. I particularly liked Metal Gear Solid 4's inelegant solution, which was to make you install after every chapter until they released that patch that would let you just install everything to the hard drive.
Oh, not her. I ain't sticking around here.
He thought about it for a little while though. Here we go. Right. Let's get some 6-axis action going. Check this out.
A sword don't make you special.
Yeah, there's a few of those. They're quite annoying. They get more complex as well, which is not what you want to hear, but hey, they were trying new things. Trying to add something to the gameplay that wasn't just hit square and then triangle and then square again. Then the analog stick? Hey, I got a level where I wasn't just 1 star. What's it? There seems to be a crate over here. Does he want me to go over the bridge first? Yeah.
Such a heavy sword for such a fragile creature. Come, child. Let me take your burden.
Never! Leave me, Narco! Get the sword away from here! The line must not be broken!
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. I have something of yours, and you have something of mine.
Simple one. Was wondering what you have no comprehension of. I see the years since we studied together have taught you nothing.
No! Shut up! Shut up. Actually, Shen, they have taught me that everything comes to he who waits, but quicker yet to he who takes.
Run, Nariko!
No, that wouldn't be wise. That wouldn't be wise at all.
Every lifetime has one moment. You stand alone and you see it all so clearly. To save my father's life, I betray his whole reason for living. I know it's death I'm holding now. Did I ever have a choice?
What have you done, Nariko? What have you done?
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Bring me that sword.
This is your first kind of big combat arena. And yes, okay, so I've got my 3 attack methods now. So, square and triangle do what they did last time. If I hold L1, I can do light attacks, which involves swinging the blades around and doing group attacks. If I hold R1, I get super heavy attacks. It's kind of neat. I hadn't realised how goofy Bohan was. Like I say, it's been so long I'd forgotten about the story in this game. Other than that there's a sword. It's bad, apparently. I mean, it's good. That's the problem. It's Moorish. Hey, hey! So generally, you can parry the enemy's attacks by being in the stance that they're attacking in. So if you see a gold rush towards you, if you hold R1, you essentially will block.
I'm sorry, but I've got to kill you now.
It's a good way of keep holding a combo though, the light attacks. Or dealing with, if you're surrounded, it's kind of handy for that. There we go. Oh, my combo reset. Did I get hit in that? There you go. That's the kind of thing I meant. If you get hit up in the air and you move the controller.
What are you doing? Am I watching a ballet? Kill her!
There's only one pot down here. I say it's been a while since I've seen a supersonic move. A super move. New speed combos unlocked. Oh, I need to finish him. Finish him! Oh, now it's teaching me this. It's all about the sword. Sounds like an extra from Hot Fuzz. Or the old guy from Time Gentlemen Please, actually. Right. More dudes to kill. Whoa. That sword just separate. I'd forgotten about that. I've forgotten how simplistic this combat was. I know later on as well they tend to get quite quick time event heavy, which is not what you want to hear in this day and age. So one thing I hope they get rid of in the new God of War is just get away from endless mash the button to open the crate. I feel like we are past this point now. We don't need to do that. That really does sound like the old guy from Time Gentleman, Please. Nope. He ain't getting up for nothing. Didn't really master that, did I?
Yes, I like that. I like it a lot. Oh, please give it to me, or else I'll kill the old man painfully. And I can be quite inventive.
Get this sword away from him!
Kill her.
The sword does have power. I can feel it. In fact, I'm counting on it. If what is written is true, its power will soon drain my life force and it will kill me. By wielding it, I have become a ghost of flesh and blood. But really, what was I before?
Whee!
You made me an outsider. You made me not care. What have you done to me? What have I become? You've turned me into a killer.
There we go. And that's chapter 1. And that looks like a much longer chapter 2. Yeah, this game's cool. We'll keep going with it, but for now, that's chapter 1 done.